Let me ask you something. Have you ever received criticism that stayed in your head for days, even if it came from someone you don't really respect? It's almost as if the words echo in your mind, replaying again and again, long after the moment has passed. Criticism can feel sharp, heavy, and deeply personal. But here's the truth: not every voice deserves space in your heart. Some critics do not deserve your attention at all. Their words are not reflections of your value. They are distractions. In this episode, we're going to learn how to build invisible armor against negativity. You'll see how to separate useful feedback from empty noise, how to stay calm under pressure, and how to use criticism as fuel for growth instead of letting it weaken you. By the end, you won't just improve your English listening and vocabulary. You will also develop life skills that keep you steady and confident in the face of judgment. This is about learning language and learning life at the same time. Criticism is everywhere, but your reaction is yours to control. So stay with me until the end. You'll gain not just words for communication, but wisdom for protection. Because the way you handle criticism can decide whether you stay stuck in pain or move forward with quiet strength. And if this episode gave you something useful, I'd love it if you liked and subscribed to the channel. It helps you stay connected, and it also helps this little learning community grow. Every click really does make a difference. With love, let's dive in. Who deserves a place in your mind? The first step in dealing with criticism is learning to filter. Ask yourself one powerful question. Would I trade places with this person? If the answer is no, then why let their words guide your life? Too often, we allow people who lack wisdom, respect, or credibility to plant seeds in our minds. These seeds can grow into self-doubt if we're not careful. Think of criticism like food. If you wouldn't eat spoiled food just because someone served it, why would you consume spoiled words? Not all feedback is valuable. What gives criticism value is not its loudness, but its source. Does the person share values you admire? Do they live a life you would like to live? Do they show qualities you respect? If yes, then their words may hold lessons. If not, their words are simply noise. This doesn't mean you should ignore everyone. It means you must choose carefully whose voice deserves access to your mind and heart. Giving weight to every opinion is like giving strangers the keys to your house. Protect your inner world. Only allow entry to those who have earned it. Otherwise, you end up carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. Should you answer every critic? Imagine walking down a road where dogs bark loudly behind fences. Do you stop to argue with each one? Of course not. If you did, you would never reach your destination. The same is true with critics. If you respond to every negative comment, you waste time, energy, and focus. You lose sight of where you were heading in the first place. The truth is, not every voice deserves a reply. Some words are meant only to distract you. A helpful question to ask yourself is, will this matter in 5 days, 5 months, or 5 years? Most criticism will not. It will disappear like dust in the air. By reacting to everything, you hand your power to others. By choosing silence, you keep your control. Energy is precious, and you only have so much of it. Each time you stop to fight, you take strength away from your bigger goals. Think about the people who achieve great things. They don't stop for every distraction. They focus on the destination, not the noise around them. So, the next time you feel an urge to defend yourself, pause. Ask, does this move me forward or keep me stuck on the roadside. Silence is often the smarter, stronger choice. What happens if you stay calm? Critics often want a reaction. They want to see you upset, defensive, or broken. But when you stay calm, you surprise them. Criticism works like fire. The more oxygen you give it, the hotter it burns. If you respond with anger, frustration, or long explanations, you feed that fire. But when you stay calm, the flame has nothing to grow on. It begins to die out. Staying calm is not easy, but it is powerful. Sometimes all it takes is a single deep breath before answering. That pause gives you space to decide, instead of reacting with emotion. Calmness is stronger than the perfect comeback. It communicates strength without needing words. It shows that you are in control of yourself and that no outside voice can shake you easily. People often expect you to fight back, but your calm silence sends a louder message. I am steady, I am strong, and I cannot be moved by this noise. Remember, calmness doesn't mean you agree. It doesn't mean you accept what was said. It simply means you are protecting your peace. Staying calm builds invisible armor. It makes criticism lose its power before it even reaches you. Can criticism pass through you? What if you didn't have to fight criticism at all? Imagine letting it pass through you like fog passing through sunlight. Fog doesn't resist the light. It doesn't fight back. It simply allows light to shine through and then drifts away. You can do the same with criticism. Not every comment needs to be resisted or defended against. Sometimes the easiest way to stay untouched is to acknowledge it lightly and let it move past. A calm phrase such as, "I hear you, I'll think about that," is enough. It doesn't give the critic power and it doesn't leave you carrying heavy emotions. This approach keeps you light and steady. Critics expect you to argue or explain. When you simply let their words float past you, they have nothing to hold on to. Their energy falls flat. Absorbing criticism like fog doesn't make you weak. In fact, it makes you free. Free from overthinking, free from unnecessary conflict, and free from the emotional weight of other people's opinions. Instead of being stuck fighting, you keep moving. This soft, calm approach is one of the strongest forms of invisible armor. How do you find truth in criticism? Not all criticism is false. Some words, even when spoken harshly, carry useful lessons. The challenge is separating those lessons from the emotions that surround them. When we feel attacked, our natural reaction is to defend ourselves. But in doing so, we may miss the valuable seed inside the criticism. A practical method is to write down exactly what was said. Once it's on paper, you can look at it calmly. Underline the parts that might be true. Cross out the parts that are only insult, exaggeration, or opinion. For example, imagine someone says, "You always talk too slowly, you sound boring." At first, this feels painful, but if you look closer, you may see a useful point. Maybe your pacing could improve in some situations. That is the small truth hidden inside the larger negativity. By separating fact from feeling, you turn criticism into a teacher. You no longer see it as a personal attack, but as information you can use. This process requires patience, but it gives you control. Instead of shrinking under criticism, you stand taller because you know how to filter what's useful and let the rest disappear. What does kindness really mean? Many people think kindness means avoiding conflict, never upsetting others, or always keeping peace. But real kindness is different. True kindness is clarity. It is telling the truth with respect, even if it feels uncomfortable in the moment. Comfort may win quick approval, but clarity earns lasting respect. When you receive criticism, ask yourself, is this person being clear, even if it stings, or are they simply trying to wound me? Criticism spoken with clarity and respect may help you grow. Criticism that only aims to hurt is worthless noise. The same is true when you give feedback. If you choose comfort over clarity, you may avoid hurting feelings, but you leave people lost. If you choose clarity, you give real guidance, even if it stings. Clarity combined with respect is the highest form of kindness. It is honesty with dignity. Understanding this truth helps you filter criticism. You can quickly see who speaks from kindness and who speaks from cruelty. And once you recognize that difference, you no longer fear every harsh word. Instead, you choose to focus only on the voices that push you toward growth. Why admit mistakes? Admitting mistakes feels difficult because it exposes us. We fear looking weak or incompetent. But the truth is, admitting mistakes makes you stronger, not weaker. Defensiveness builds walls around you. Humility opens doors. When you openly say, yes, I was wrong, and here's how I will improve, you disarm critics instantly. They expect you to deny or argue. Instead, your honesty surprises them and earns respect. People admire courage more than excuses. Everyone makes mistakes, but not everyone has the humility to admit them. Think of it this way. A cracked cup can still hold water if it is cared for. In the same way, your mistakes do not destroy your value. They simply prove you are human, learning, and capable of growth. Admitting mistakes also frees you from fear. You no longer need to hide or defend yourself because you already told the truth. That honesty becomes invisible armor. Critics cannot attack you with something you have already owned. Openness builds resilience, while defensiveness leaves you fragile. Humility is strength in its quietest, most powerful form. How can failure be fuel? Failure and criticism often walk hand in hand. When you fail, people talk. They laugh, they judge, they point fingers. But failure itself is not your enemy. Failure is information. It shows you what doesn't work, and that knowledge is priceless. If you reframe failure, you can use it as fuel. Each mistake moves you closer to success by eliminating one wrong path. Think of famous inventions. Almost all of them were born from repeated failure. The next time someone criticizes you for failing, pause and ask, what lesson is hidden here? Maybe you learned patience. Maybe you developed resilience. Maybe you discovered a new skill. Every stumble leaves behind a seed of growth. A practical exercise is to write down one failure from your past, then list at least one useful thing it forced you to learn. You'll see that even painful events left you with strength you didn't have before. Critics may laugh, but you'll know better. Failure is not shame, it is training. Criticism then becomes a reminder, not of weakness, but of the progress you are making. Where does real protection come from? Real protection from criticism does not come from hiding, staying silent, or avoiding challenges. It comes from self-trust. When you trust yourself deeply, no outside voice can define you. Your invisible armor grows stronger every time you continue walking despite negativity. Think of consistency as your shield. Every time you keep moving toward your goals, even in the face of judgment, you add another layer of protection. Self-trust is built when your actions match your values. Each time you prove to yourself that you can stay steady, criticism loses its bite. Even if someone mocks you, their words cannot break your confidence. The people who remain untouched are not those who never hear criticism. They are the ones who have built such strong self-trust that the noise around them no longer matters. This kind of protection is invisible but powerful. It is not about building walls. It is about becoming so rooted in yourself that nothing outside can shake your foundation. That is the real armor that criticism cannot penetrate. How can you practice this daily? Invisible armor is not built in one day. It is created through daily habits. One of the most effective ways is to keep promises to yourself. Each morning, choose one small goal and complete it. It might be as simple as finishing a short task or practicing a skill. Every time you follow through, you strengthen self-trust, and the stronger your trust, the weaker criticism feels. Another daily habit is reflection. At the end of the day, ask yourself, what criticism did I hear today? Was any part useful? Which part was only noise? This exercise trains your mind to filter calmly instead of reacting emotionally. Over time, your natural reaction shifts. Instead of feeling attacked, you feel steady. Instead of defending, you feel free. Confidence doesn't appear overnight. It grows like a muscle through small, repeated actions. Each act of consistency, each moment of reflection, adds another layer to your invisible armor. Soon, critics still exist, but their words slide off you. What once felt heavy now feels light. That is the power of daily practice. What will you take away from this? We've explored a journey together. You've learned how to decide whose voices matter, why silence is often more powerful than reaction, and how staying calm protects your peace. You've seen how criticism can pass through you like fog, how to separate useful facts from emotional noise, and why real kindness is clarity wrapped in respect. We talked about the courage of admitting mistakes, the hidden lessons inside failure, and the deeper protection that comes from self-trust and consistency. The invisible armor rule is simple but life-changing. You are not defined by what others say. You are defined by how you choose to respond. Criticism will always exist, but you don't have to let it live inside you. Instead, let it pass. Take the lessons and move forward with quiet strength. As you continue your English journey, remember that these words are more than language. They are tools for life. Your peace is worth protecting. Your journey is worth continuing. And your strength grows each time you walk forward, untouched by noise. That is invisible armor. That is how you stay free from criticism. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss the next lesson. Your support means so much. It keeps this space alive and growing. With love, thank you for being here, and I can't wait to continue this journey with you.